unity with the other NATO member countries. Of course, there are the ones who define it as the membership of Sweden and Finland into NATO, but this is only a process of invitation, and we said yes to this invitation. Of course, this invitation has certain prerequisites, and we have written those prerequisites into this memorandum. So, on the first day, as we went to NATO summit, we had four-way talks. One day before the outset of the NATO summit, our colleagues have done the preliminary works, but after the talks of the leaders, we said that let's continue with the negotiations, and our technical staff had the negotiations, and after those talks, we also included our conditions regarding the fight against terrorism, and our conditions have been accepted. What were those conditions? In the past, the European Union only accepted PKK as a terrorist organization, but we said that this is not acceptable to fight against PKK only. That's why we are also adding PYD, YPG, and FETÖ terrorist organizations, and we said that we should also include those terrorist organizations into the memorandum as well. Of course, they tried to bypass and sidestep from this memorandum, but we said that these are our red lines, and if you are not showing respect to our red lines, then we can't say yes to this memorandum. And then the talks continued, and at the end they have accepted it. So it is really important that all of those talks have been reflected in a written memorandum. And apart from the PKK, YPG, PYD, and Fethullah terrorist organizations are also written in the notice of NATO as terrorist organization, and this also is the most important example of our victory from the last NATO summit. And all the journals and all the newspapers interpreted the last NATO summit as the Turkish victory. This is the reality. And for 2 or 3 minutes during the NATO summit, we were able to show our fight against terrorist organizations and terrorism, and at the same time, we were able to show the demonstrations of those terrorist organizations in European countries, and the NATO member countries had the chance to watch all those videos. So with all the documents that we have distributed and with the USB sticks, we presented our proofs and documents for the discretion of the NATO member countries, and this led to our victory in NATO. Well, valuable friends, We don't have the will to wage war against Greece. But Greece doesn't keep the promises she has given. So within a short time frame, they have violated our airspace 147 times. If we are neighbors, if we are friends, and if we want to live in peace, then why do you violate the airspace of Turkey 147 times? If you are violating our airspace 147 times, then what is incumbent upon us is to give the response that you deserve by our air forces. But if our air forces do not give that response, then our citizens would ask the question, where are our soldiers and our army? So that's why the armed forces do what they are supposed to do, and if those violations of our airspace continue, then we will continue to do what is incumbent upon us. Mitsotakis let's say that Mitsotakis has said what he should, and I don't know which leaders showed quite effort. They tried their best to make sure that we speak with him, but we said that we are not accepting it at the moment. His Excellency Mr. President, regarding to the ongoing food crisis and ongoing war, you stated that you would speak with both Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Putin. And we also see that some countries are also stopping their exports of food products. What would be the approach of Turkey in that regard? Our colleagues are speaking with Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Putin for an appointment, and within this time frame, hopefully we will speak with Mr. Putin and Mr. Zelensky. So by making use of re-export facilities, the grain, the grain, wheat, and also barley, sunflower can be exported to the countries who are in need of them. Our fleets and the stock of those products for Turkey is good, but we can export those products to the countries who are in need of them. So we have approximately 20 ships in the region, and they are ready to depart from the region. So after speaking with both Mr. Putin and Mr. Zelensky, hopefully by receiving the positive response from them, we will take further steps. Valuable friends, regarding to this topic, what I would like to say is that we are facing with great disasters. May God help us. So all our ministers and all our institutions in the face of such disasters, including but not limited to wildfires and also the floods, they do their best, and we are overcoming all those obstacles. Kastamonu, Sinop, Zonguldak, Bartın, Düzce, Sakarya, those 7 provinces of ours had such challenges, but hopefully we will overcome all those problems, and our institutions work quite intensely on site. As you know, yesterday in Artvin, in Kemalpaşa district, due to the soil erosion, unfortunately, the landslide, we have lost one of our trucks, and one of our citizens unfortunately lost his life, and we have 2 wounded. In Keçiören, we faced another natural disaster. Of course, it's not possible for us to say that we won't have any natural disaster anymore. I mean, as it is the case everywhere, from time to time we are facing with natural disasters as well, but during the last forest fire, all our institutions, thanks to God, were able to extinguish the fire within 4.5 days. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, we lost an area of 5,500 hectares, and we will plant new trees and we will make this region much more greener, and hopefully we will be able to recover those green areas. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May your Friday be auspicious. But there is also one more thing that I would like to say. Those regions who are affected by those fires are also defined as the disaster areas. That's why whatever the state is supposed to give as an aid to those regions will be swiftly carried out by the state.
Tamam, oyna.